So SAP having a ERP functionality, ERP will integrate all your modules. So modules will be like this. There are some technical group modules are there and functional group modules also there. The technical modules. Technical modules means it's a basis, ABAP, and security. Basis, security, and ABAP. ABAP, he will deal the coding part and programming part. Security is related to the access part, and basis is a admin job. So this I already covered in the yesterday's session. So apart from this, here we have so many functional modules like this: MM, FICO, SD, PP, PP, PM. PM means plant maintenance. PP means plant production. MM, material management. SD, sales and distribution. The same way, HR. The same way, HCM. Here the name is HCM, HR module. So let me write here HCM or HR, plant maintenance. Like this, we have so many functional modules. Almost we have a 20 plus, we can say that 50 plus modules also there in the SAP. But there is a mandatory modules are these only, important module. Why it is important means without these modules, no one can run the business. Is that without sales, is there any organization will work? Without sales? Any organization will work, guys?
No, no.
No. Without material procurement, is that anyone can produce a product? So that
No.
is the, yeah, that's the reason. MM. Without HR? No. But for HR, in SAP, some people not using SAP system, they're using some third-party tools also. So this is not a mandate module. But remaining all modules, for all modules will be mandatory modules. Mandatory. Like this, so many modules are there. Many are the non-mandatory, but these are the listed here is the very mandatory. And PP, PM also not much mandatory. Only production related clients require this one. Anyway, with ERP having all the modules in one platform, it will make all modules into a single platform, integrate all into one platform. So here everyone will join. Here everyone will join. So means that there is a one server is there. The server name is application server. The server name is, coming to technical part, we have a 3-layer architecture. 3-layer architecture. We have the server. We have the ERP server. This is the ERP server for it. What is SAP? SAP is a application. This application will be installed on some operating system, some OS. So this application or this ERP will receive all the requests from the first layer is GUI layer. The first layer is GUI layer. I will tell you what is the GUI application, everything. Okay. So SAP requires a database to store the data. So application always connected with the database. Application always connected with database to store the data, to get the data. This database also installed on the some operating system. See, this is also Yeah, operating system. Completely, how many layers we have? 3 layers. The layer 1. Layer 2. Layer 3. Total 3 layers we have. 3-layer architecture. See, this is the ERP system. Is nothing but a SAP or SAP application. SAP or SAP application. Here, see, all the modules, consultants will join here, log in here, work here. So, work means the functional people will customize the application. Functional people will customize the application. Where technical people gives the technical support. Technical support. So coming to the basis will handle. Why? Because I explained already yesterday, so I'm just going a little bit fast. Okay. As a admin, as part of admin, he will give a technical support as a technical consultant. Second, he will give as part of admin installation and uninstallation. The project name is implementation. Number 3. See here, we have the application, we have the database, and application database is installed on some operating system. So one day, any day, someday after some few years, okay. So it may outdated. Any version will get outdated one day. So when it is outdated and when it is required, that time you need to upgrade your servers. The upgrade also admin job. And implementation. Sorry. Migration. Yeah, last question. See, migration means this application is running on some operating system. For example, it's running on Windows operating system. You want to change that to OS. The project name is OS migration. OS change it to Linux. It's a migration project. It is a migration project. Which migration? OS migration.
OS migration.
Okay. If you are changing DB, for example, database is running on Oracle, you want to change that to the HANA. Just HANA should be always in cap. HANA. So if you change this, then it's a DB migration. DB migration. See, we're coming to the upgrade, application upgrade, DB upgrade, OS upgrade also. But we don't deal OS upgrade. Just do remember 3, but we will deal only application and DB. Okay, like this we have a lot of operating system listed out here. Unix operating system we have, AX operating system we have, AS400 we have, SUSE Linux we have, SUSE Linux. These are the list of operating system where we can install our SAP application. Application can be installed on any OS and it can run with any database. The database is MS SQL, DB2, Sybase, MaxDB. These are the list of databases. This application can run with any DB. When you go to the work, you may see any operating system from this list, any database from this list. But don't fear, the 90% people will use HANA, the remaining 10% people will like 80%. Let's take the 80%. HANA, 10 to 15% Oracle, The remaining will use very less clients will use the remaining databases. So I'm just going to give these databases here. I will cover these two databases. Some specific topics on Sybase and DB. Like a DB refresh is an activity. This is not a right time to discuss about that activity, but operating systems. Most of the people will use Windows and Linux. Like a 45%, 45%. That's it. I never work on AS400. See, no one will use this. AX also just very few people. Unix also no one will use. Only people will use Windows, Linux, and SUSE Linux. For your information, Linux and SUSE Linux both are same. Okay, there is no difference. So you need to learn two operating systems, Windows and Linux here. At least two databases, Walker and HANA here. And anyway, you will learn application. Okay, this is I am going to cover with this course. These are the projects you will handle in the future. Apart from that, there is some more names are there, but the basic, very basic as per theory, these are the four. Okay, come back to our three-layer architecture once again. Three-layer architecture we have. The first layer is SAP GUI layer. First layer is GUI layer. Here I want to give some example. What is the GUI, what is the application, and what is the database? See here, application server is a place where users can execute the request. Sir, what is this request? Request means it's a user. Not only executing, first we need application server has to receive and execute the user request. Receive and execute the user. GUI. So our name, our GUI name is SAP GUI. This SAP GUI will create the user request. SAP GUI will create the user request. Sir, is there any process to create a user request? No. Just whenever you done a dialog step, it's a new word, dialog step, no problem. Dialog step means anything like a execute, running a transaction, click on next screen. I will compare with some example, no issues. Okay. So whenever a dialog step happened on the GUI, immediately a user request is initiated. Immediately a user request is initiated, and that is received by and executed by application server. That's the role of application server here. And coming to the database, database is there to store the data. Store the data. And whenever application server requires the data, it will provide us. Store and provide the data. That's about the database layer. Total 3 layers we have. Come back to some example to understand better. Take a bank example, any bank, Axis Bank. We have an Axis Bank with us. For Axis Bank, we have Axis Bank application from the Play Store, and retail.axisbank.com is a URL to connect. Is that without that URL, without that Axis Bank application from the Play Store, will you able to connect the Axis Bank servers? Is that possible?
No.
Correct. Without that, we cannot connect. So the graphical user interface, please write your running notes. Without a graphical user interface, we can't connect application server. We can't connect application server without GUI. GUI stands for graphical user interface. Okay, we have the GUI. One more point about the GUI. This GUI will be depends on the operating system where you are installing that GUI. It depends on the operating system. So for example, my operating system is Android. So my same Access Bank GUI software, generally we call it as a application which is downloading from the Play Store, but it's not application, it's a GUI, graphical user interface. It will provide that interface to connect the server to work with server. Okay, so without that, sorry, if my operating system is Android, server is different, software is different. Sorry. For iOS, correct. Someone is message. For iOS, that software is different. For Ubuntu, maybe. For Windows, maybe. At least some GUI softwares are different, right?
Yes, yes.
For SAP GUI, it is a different from one to another. So it depends on the end user OS. End user OS, simply where he is installing that GUI. The types we will discuss in the GUI class. Okay. Okay. Anyway, at least we got a somewhat a 20% idea on GUI as of now. Simply, it's a Play Store application for better understand. Without that, we cannot connect to that specific server. So the same way, without SAP GUI, we cannot connect the application. Okay. So this application server is a centralized there on the a centralized place, centralized network, like maybe in the internet area. So this server will take all the requests around the globe. Whoever connecting to the IRCTC throughout the world, throughout the India, they will connect to the same server. They will connect to the same server. So that's the centralized server. Will receive all the requests. Even I'm using my mobile, using my credentials. I'm trying to connect a railway ticket using IRCTC. I too connect the same server. You to connect the same server. You will see the same tickets. I will see the same train list and tickets and everything. The GUIs will be there on the different machines at the end user's machine, but application server will be only one. Only one. It may have a multiple instances, multiple systems, but all included, that will be a application server. The deeply we will discuss in the further classes, no problem. Okay. So the same way, if you are storing data, I'm storing my data. With my credentials, if I use the Kanakala number, Kanakala, his name Sridhar. If I'm using Sridhar mobile with my credentials, I will see my data. So data is not storing at GUI level. Data is not storing at GUI level. Somewhere else it is storing. So data not storing here. Data is storing at some centralized place. That place name is database. But without application, we cannot access the database. So one more point, first layer, intermediate layer, and last layer. Back end, middleware, front end. The different names. The different names. Application presentation layer, application layer, database layer, server, tier. So many words. But ultimately we have a 3-layer architecture. Ultimately we have 3-layer architecture. Okay. So this application server will receive all the requests and it will process the request. How it will process the request internally, that we will discuss in the tomorrow's class. how the database will store the data, how database will fetch the data, provide to the application, that we will see almost in the 25th class when we reach the database. Okay. So this is about a 3-layer architecture. SAP following 3-layer architecture. So, for example, choose any customer like Hyderabad Metro. Choose some other. This is very routine. Choose some other. Hadley Davidson. Hadley Davidson. It's a known customers. Asian Paints. Okay, like this. Asian Fabrics. Okay, like this customers is using their business on this SAP server. So SAP servers will deal it, will process the customer data by using server, by using server, by using server, by using application, by using application. So let me conclude what is SAP now. Let me conclude what is the SAP now. SAP means using systems, applications, products for data systems, applications for data processing. SAP systems, not systems, it's a system. Systems, applications, products for data processing. So by using that systems and applications, the customer data is processed, customer business is processed. Okay, every time please mute yourself. Okay, whenever you want to speak, that time you can unmute. Otherwise we will get some disturbance in the recording and as well as with others. Others will disturb. Okay, so now you are learning a basis course. SAP basis. Basis is a admin. You will deal this project. SAP basis admin. This is the completely your course. You will be basis admin, you will be basis administrator. You will be a technical consultant. You belongs to technical, right? So you will be technical consultant. So I'm just concluding this class. I'm just stopping. Tomorrow I will take a minimum 1 hour class from tomorrow. Okay. Sorry for today. It's also same NetWeaver administration. Yeah, correct. NetWeaver also a platform like a ERP. So instead of ERP, you can call it as a NetWeaver also. NetWeaver also a platform. That platform having all the modules. That platform also can deal the SAP business, a customer business on SAP. Okay. So any doubts? Any doubts? Today I taken just half an hour class. Okay. From tomorrow, surely I will take 60 minutes minimum. Okay. I will increase the speed and I will follow up all the process.
Sir, your class